Hi there, it's Karen Young here from Properties S Buyers Agency in Brisbane, here with the 1 minute market update for February in 2024. Now, in terms of supply and demand, our listing levels are down. If you look at that 14.7 down from this time last year, we have seen that definitely on the ground out there when we're looking at properties. Supply levels are low. Good properties are snapped up pretty quickly. We can see that days on market there sitting at 22 days. That's pretty low. We are out there on the ground actively looking at properties and finding that as soon as something good lists, it's gone, or if there's a sniff at it pre-market, it's gone. And so you really have to be quick at the moment in today's market. Dwelling levels up 1% over the last month, 3.2% over the last quarter, and 14.8% over the last year. And who would have thought we had that massive post-COVID property boom where we had huge gains in growth numbers were massive across the board. And then we had a little bit of a lull, but then those prices have just kept on going. And at the moment, most of the forecasters are anticipating they will keep on going. So if you are thinking of buying and you're waiting for some sort of bubble to burst or some crash, I suggest get in there, get amongst it. Prices are seemingly only going up at the moment. Rental yields 3.9% now, and we've dipped below that 4% mark, which for Brisbane has, traditionally we've been in those fours, and back when I first started 12 years ago, we were up in the fives easily, and now we're sort of sitting, if you're anywhere within kind of 20 k's of the city, your yields are most likely to be in the high threes or possibly low fours if you're lucky. For most things across the board, this is always exceptions, of course. Vacancy rates are still low. When we're listing properties for rent, they are getting smashed with people who want to come through, view the property, apply for the property, and they don't sit on the market very long. So we've still got a very healthy and buoyant property market going on in Brisbane. Now, if we look at the split between house and unit values, last month, house values are up 1%, unit values are up 1.2%. House values year on year, 15% growth in the last year in houses. And look at that, units. Who would have thought 13.7% growth in units in Brisbane over the last year? Now, as I said, I've been doing this a long time, 12 years as a buyer's agent in Brisbane and the Sunshine Coast, and we've not seen units grow in the way that they have over the last year or two. They've always been a pretty sort of stagnant exercise, but unit value is really creeping up. And you don't know, is this a sign of the future? Is this a sign that people who are getting priced out of houses are moving toward the high density living in the closer in suburbs? Or is it just a thing that's happening at the moment and will die down again? But certainly very healthy unit growth and housing growth in Brisbane at the moment. So we buy in Brisbane, Moreton Bay, Ipswich, Logan and the Sunshine Coast. We also have a presence in North Queensland, Airlie Beach and Townsville as well, if you're interested in those areas. And I've got a case study here just to show you a little property that picked up at auction actually in November 2023. Really interesting auction that maybe I'll tell it in another story, where we actually didn't win it at the auction. And I was literally getting my car to drive off and they ran out after me. And it turns out the person who bought it didn't actually want it anymore. It's a long story, but anyway, we ended up snapping that one up at auction for $650. It's a dual living property. It's got a little granny flat out the back, really good estimated rental return on that, and that's in Deception Bay in the Moreton Bay City Council area. So if you're interested in buying property on the Sunshine Coast, Brisbane, Moreton Bay, Ipswich, Logan, reach out to us. We would love to assist you, and cheers, have a great day.